Welcome to this week's episode of Girl Dad Podcast. I am Scott.
And I'm Lexi.
And we are in New York. On the Live Golf offices.
Back in the Live offices. Most beautiful view.
Yeah, absolutely spectacular.
It's amazing.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
I'm a little antsy right now because we're supposed to start this at 8:30. It is now 9:18.
Whose fault is that?
Whose fault is it?
Someone.
Honestly, whose fault is it?
Someone got here at 8:15. And someone got here at 8:50.
And someone took 30 minutes to set up.
Oh.
But let's get going.
I'm not doing this.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so we're coming off a long weekend right now.
An amazing weekend.
What did you do? You had an amazing weekend.
I had an incredible weekend. It went down to Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'd never been.
Amazing. Why were you there?
Caitlin was in the College Softball World Series.
She's literally such a baller.
She slayed it, but the team lost 2 games and were knocked out. But they finished top 8 in the country.
Oh, that's amazing.
She batted over 400 for the year, had over 80 hits. She's had an insane year. Yeah, great shortstop.
She's amazing.
And the team was amazing and fun. And I actually think they could have won both games, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And then went from there to the Indianapolis 500.
Yes.
It's like Indianapolis is like the home of racing. International Motor Speedway is one of the most famous in the world.
Yeah.
To win the Indy 500 is like the crowning achievement for racers. They get a big wreath like the old days.
Wow. It was a pre-F1. It's the PGA to live.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Roger Penske, I spent some time with him. He owns teams, the league, and Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Oh,
and obviously you see their trucks, Penske Racing. They have 300 dealerships around the country, so he's an incredible businessman.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
And his attention to detail is extraordinary. So it was kind of fun to hear his vision.
Yeah.
For Indy 500 and the world.
What sets Indy 500 apart from other sporting events that makes it so special?
There are 350,000 people at one-day event.
Wow.
350,000 people there.
Wow.
So it goes on forever.
Wait,
There's an EDM concert, 30,000 people going on inside the track during the race.
No way.
It's bigger. There are 4 holes of an 18-hole golf course within the track. I've never seen anything like it.
Wait, so are the seating, is everyone sitting around?
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
That's
because
insane.
it's Memorial Day, it's always on the day before Memorial Day.
Oh, cool.
The pageantry and patriotism, they only stop the concert twice, okay? Once for the playing of taps. Do you know what taps is?
No.
Yeah.
Wait,
and then when they say start their engines, otherwise the EDM concert's going. It's really cool.
That's
and then
crazy.
There's tradition. You kiss the bricks on the finish lines. It was so awesome. So our Derek Jeter and A-Rod, do you know who they are? Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
Okay, they were in our suite, which was kind of cool.
What?
Yeah.
Did you talk to them?
Yes.
Were they cool?
Yeah. And Jimmy Johnson, the most famous race driver, one of the top 5 most famous drivers in U.S. history, was there. And he lived in London when I was in London.
Oh, well, that's
so
cool.
we never met, but our good friend, Fred Whitfield, we're all mutual friends. They're really good friends, and Fred and I are really good friends. So when I moved to London, he's like, oh, you got to connect with Jimmy. He's one of my best friends. But we only text. Because I was always traveling around the world. And he was coming back and forth for racing.
Oh, my gosh.
So it was kind of funny because he's walking up steps. I'm like, Jimmy Johnson? He's like, Scott O'Neill. I'm like, what's up? So he's going to come to our Live Golf event at JCB in the UK.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Oh, my gosh.
So anyway, it was kind of like celebrity star-studded event.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
But the pageantry is what steals it. It's there's members from all the military. They have all these. It's incredible.
Cool.
It's not quite the Army Navy game in terms of pageantry, but it's close.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, that's amazing.
It was an incredible.
Was this your first time, or had you been
first
before?
time ever?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, that is so cool.
Yeah, it was great. So Eric Shanks, the chairman of Fox, is our partner with Live Golf, and then Jordan Bejan is our partner. So they're the 2 horses there. So they were there, which was great. And I saw so many people I knew.
Oh.
President of NASCAR was there. OD, that was great. So it just felt like, I don't know, it's like a big time event, and it was cool to be there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that so much. That's amazing. And then, did you do anything yesterday?
I went to the beach, the shore.
Amazing.
Belmar.
Me too.
Went with Eliza, my youngest, but she had her friends there, so I didn't see her much. She loved going to the beach. And then my mom, Uncle Matt, and his family.
Wait, that's
Uncle Sean,
so
Alexis.
fun.
So it was great.
Oh,
had a lot of fun. Had a nice
that.
classic Americana barbecue.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, I love that.
It was fun.
I was at the Jersey Shore.
Wildwood.
Spent the weekend in Wildwood.
I bet our experiences at the shore were slightly different.
So, I think that my experience at the shore was like your experience at the shore when you lived there. That's what I feel like it was more like. But it was so fun. It was like, I was telling Ron, I've never experienced the Jersey Shore like that. Like, it was just amazing. Like fun.
It's the most misunderstood place in the world.
Absolutely. I was like, why does this get hate? The boardwalk was amazing.
MTV show.
Right.
That crushed us.
That crushed us.
But it's probably the best thing because it keeps everybody else out.
Yeah, honestly,
it's almost it's like a fishing net that keeps all the trash from ruining our shore.
It's special for like East Coasters, whatever, and no one else gets it, and that's fine.
And if you don't, stay out.
Mic drop, exactly.
Yeah. No, I love it there.
I had the proudest moment of, honestly, maybe my life this weekend. So, I was with my crush, and we were playing mini golf. And
not your game.
Not my game.
No, we've had probably more family arguments, fights, tears, anxiety around two sports. And one is mini golf, which I don't understand how anybody could be so bad, and bowling. Where we still, at 25 years old, we still have to put the rails up there. And, like, you're athletic.
Okay.
I don't understand what the gap is. It's not just you. Your sisters are the same way. I don't understand
all bad. I don't get it either. And it's just those two things. Like, we can pick up most athletic things and be, like solid.
Eliza's like, volleyball. No problem.
Literally. Field hockey. Yeah. She does everything. Like, and I feel like I could too. But, like, there's something about bowling and mini golf that is rough.
All right, so like, I just advising you as a father, if you really like this guy, I would say, do you want to play mini golf? No, I don't.
You know what?
Like, I would say no.
And I tried to fight it a little bit. I was like, we can play mini golf any weekend. Like, we'll be back. We'll be back in a few weeks.
Right.
Like, we
Kick
can play next time.
It's good strategy.
Right. Then I'm like, I get a little practice in, but we ended up being next to a mini golf.
You're practicing. Okay, that looked really good. All the golfers watching right now just say, like, okay, we see it.
I'm dead. No, literally. So I decided to practice them. So we end up right next to a mini golf course, and I'm just like, okay, we're going to do this. Let's do it, right? So we're walking in, and I'm just like, I have to just preface, like, I might be the worst mini golfer, like...
I would agree with that.
Ever.
Certainly the worst I've ever seen.
It's bad. But a little tiny bit, I didn't say this because I don't want to, like, put the standards high and then have me be below. But I was like, hit the golf ball twice when we were on the golf course. I actually hit the ball twice. So I'm like, it's definitely improving.
Your hand-eye is not the problem.
Right. What's the problem?
You have good hand-eye coordination.
I think the problem is I just get too excited and like...
That right there. That stroke right there knocks the ball. It's mini golf.
No, literally.
That's exactly...
I get so excited I want to like whip it.
I know,
but,
it's dangerous.
So whatever, I'm prefacing. We get to the first hole. I'm just like, it's going to be bad. Whatever.
Knock it in.
Hole in one.
Let's go.
Hole in one. Immediately.
Let's freaking go.
I ended up winning the game. I know.
You should break up with him. I'm just saying. No, if he can't beat you...
He was shook because he was like, I never lose.
No,
I literally never lose.
He either tanked to make you feel good, which is possible, which I appreciate.
No, I told him to not do that.
He did.
I don't think he did. That's what makes it even funnier that I don't think. No. But it was awesome. I won. I'm a golfer. I just want to get to the driving range now. I'm like, I want to play mini golf every day. Like, I love it. I'm going to go putt in the office. Live Office has a little, like, putt game. I'm going to go play on my way out.
That'd be great.
It's awesome. So you guys have sent us some really, really good questions and topics that you want us to cover. So every week, we're just going to take a few minutes and answer one of your guys' questions. So our question this week is, how do you help guide your teenage daughter through bullying behavior by a group of friends?
It's a terrible question.
This is a heartbreaker, yeah.
We experience a lot of this. It's really heartbreaking for a dad. And I think every one of you experienced it. Yours was nasty.
Yeah.
Eliza's particularly bad. Kira's wasn't, I don't think. She didn't have it too badly.
No.
It's really heartbreaking. And my dad gave me probably the worst advice of all time, which I'll share. He said, this is for a boy, different for a girl. He said, never throw the second punch. I'm like, Dad, that's the word. I said it to him at the time. I was like, Dad, that's not advice you can give your
Never throw the second punch is crazy.
Right. Meaning sucker
crazy.
Punch somebody
if
they're bullying you.
Right.
And so I wouldn't advocate for that. I'm like, what? God rest his soul.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's so, like, it's so hard. Like, it is like when you are in that and it's happening to you, it feels like it will never end. Right. And it feels like...
And girls are mean.
Girls are so
Especially
mean.
with the stuff they put on social media. I think also, like, what I would try to say is like, sometimes when someone writes something in social media and doesn't mention you by name and you think it's you or you know it's you, like, you just got to stop following. You have to cut down... If it's social media, you got to cut down who you're following.
For sure.
You have to mute... The negative voices in your life have to be muted. You got to get out of the game, I think.
And if you can't unfollow, then mute them. If it will cause more drama or start anything to unfollow, then mute them. But, like, I agree. Don't be looking at that stuff that could hurt you. I think that social media has gotten so out of hand.
But sometimes it's their friends, though. And so, like,
I know.
Sometimes you got to find people who lift you up. Like, you have to do an audit every whatever. And boy, with middle school girls, it's like every week. But as the girls get older, maybe it's like once a month or once a quarter, and figure out, like, are these the people that lift me up? Are these people that are my energizers, my chargers? Do they smile when I walk in a room? You know, and I think we have to spend our lives, not just as teenage girls, but as adults, figuring out who we want to spend time with.
Yeah.
Because people that drain your energy, drag you down, are happy when you're sad, look for other ways to put you down, and, like, it's not worth it.
No, and those aren't your friends then. Like, I think that it took me a really long time to find, like, my group. It took me till I was literally, like, junior year of college till I found, like, my people. And, like, you know, I didn't always have friends, but, like, I had different friends. Right. And I think that, like, it's so important to just, like you said, not let yourself be around that. But also, like, just know, and it's so hard to hear, but you just have to know that, like, I mean, people who treat you like that are not your friends, and you don't want to be around them.
Or they're going through a terrible time themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other part, too, is, like, girls, like, they just beat themselves up.
Yeah.
And so they might be so hurting inside. Their only way to, like, act is to counteract and try to bring some pain. Not consciously, but subconsciously. But I typically, you got to find other outlets with other people.
Absolutely. And I would say, like, for parents, like, for your kids experiencing that, like, just be a safe place for them, you know? Like, don't judge them. Don't... I don't know. Let them.
Your first reaction is like, just get over it. Like that was my first reaction.
Right, that's all.
This isn't always helpful, right?
No, definitely not.
And so love and safe place is certainly good too.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit today about being a leader. I want to talk about what being a leader means, how you can be a leader, and what that looks like in the workplace and at home. So you've held so many leadership positions. I mean, both, like, in your professional life, in a church callings, in our family. Like, you are, like, and you do it so, like, perfectly, and you're the best leader that I've ever seen. Like, what makes a good leader?
It's a really hard question. Thank you for that. A really hard question. But I remember I was playing in this pickup basketball league. This guy named Ryan Drew. I hope you're watching, Jersey. And he was very good. He played at University of Cal, Berkeley, so started for 4 years, outstanding player. I did not. I am not.
Yes, you are.
Okay, right. So he's like, hey, I'd love you to play on my team. I was like, oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So, and I'm a point guard. All he wanted to do was shoot, and he knows I give him the ball. And so, like, we're losing, and I was like, hey, do you want to get a timeout? You know, he's like, next time down, I'm like, bro, do you want to get a timeout? Blah, blah, blah. So finally, I'm like, okay, timeout. You know, the momentum of the game was swinging. And so we walk over. I was like, Drew, he's like, look, I'm the best player, but you're the leader. That's why I have you here. And it was really interesting. Like, interesting for him. Like, I hadn't thought of it like that, right? And for me, you know, your grandparents, my parents, they were leadership development teachers and trainers. Mm-hmm. And so both PhDs. And so my home was like a laboratory, much like your home was a laboratory growing up. We trying to develop strong, independent, confident women who are leaders. And so, and some of that is natural, and some of it's not. You know, and I have been that, and I've been a leader on. I think I've been a captain of every sports team I ever played on as a kid, even from a little kid. So there's something innate, or at least trained and taught by my parents. And there's some characteristics of leaders that I have admired over time. One is, I feel like the best leaders are certainly strong and confident, but very passionate and empathetic and aware of the people.
Yeah.
I think leaders today have to have real personal attention, which is different from when I was growing up in the business. It's like you have to act like something for you that you need might be something different from this person or this person. So I think some personal. I think you have to have some vision. Be able to articulate where you want to head, try to lead the troops there. And then you have to have a will to work. You have to lead by example. We have this expression I use here, two of them. One is leaders eat last, which is kind of like...
You always say that. Yeah. Always. Yeah. It's so good.
And that's just a metaphor for how you go through life as a leader. It's not about you.
Yeah.
It's about the team.
Absolutely.
And then this notion of like, if there's a piece of paper on the ground, pick it up. So like, role model the behavior you want to see. And if you think that, physical plant is important and the cleanliness and how things look, set the table for what you're going to accomplish, which I do. If there's a piece of paper, I'm going to literally pick it up.
Yeah.
But also metaphorically pick it up. Like solve problems. I was in the car with one of my colleagues just now, and he was like, what we were talking about? And I was like, something was broken here. And I was like, I know, like, it's a small company, like 250 people. Like, it's us, though,
Right.
Like, it's broken. Smear you, so you can fix it.
Right.
And so it's just that notion, right, of like, what do you want in the work? So that's one thing, one segment.
Yeah, I love that.
Like one segment. Subsegment. One is that. The second thing is you don't have to be in a leadership role to be a leader.
Yes. Yes.
And I, all through my career, I have worked in some places that were a bit dicey from a culture standpoint. And we used to talk about this notion of a culture within a culture. And how can you influence those in your sphere? And I think some of the best leaders are those who are helping to empower others, helping to get bandwidth for others, helping to like take a vision and actually spread it and drive it. And when an organization recognizes and realizes that everybody has a role and responsibility to play in an extraordinary organization, that's when it starts to take off.
Yeah.
And I always, it's really interesting because I have a reputation as a leader, which I appreciate. And I think when I walk into a room, I had someone I worked with the other day saying, like, when are you going to, you got to, come down, or, because her vision of a leader is, General Patton, do this, do that. I was like, well, that's not how I lead.
Yeah.
I try to set standards of excellence. I like to set a vision, some might say unreasonable expectations of what we can achieve. And then I like to surround myself with people smarter and more talented than I am, and then help with the dynamics, the human dynamics of how we operate and how we work effectively together. And that's a very modern day vision of leadership.
Yeah.
It's not top down. And I worked for incredible top down leaders.
Yeah, for sure. Who's
David Stern's like the top down leader. Do that,
Right.
He was strong, he was tough, he was nasty, and he directed traffic. Now he respected pushback, but that guy was like old school General George Patton.
Yeah.
Scream and yell and threaten. And that's just not how it's not how you get the best out of me.
Right.
And that's not how I see you get the best out of people. I can easily walk into an organization and start telling people what to do. In some cases I'd be right, in some cases I'd be wrong. But if you don't have an organization where you have people much more talented than you at their discipline, you have an issue and a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
And fortunately we have a lot of talented people here.
Yeah. Who's someone that you've worked with over your time that you think has been like an exceptional leader, and why? What do you think?
There's so many people. So I've had the good pleasure. I worked for Adam Silver, commissioner of the NBA, who's an extraordinary leader. I mean, he's taught me more about understanding player relationships, understanding relationships in general with media, sponsors, employees, how you actually can manage all those complex relationships. I mean, it's amazing. And strategically, he's near genius.
Yeah.
David Stern, I thought, from a visionary standpoint, I don't think anybody can touch him.
Yeah. Good thing they're both the commissioners. They're such good leaders.
Seth Berger,
yes.
former founder of And One, now is running a venture fund and running this amazing tournament, New Era basketball tournament. Boy, he told me to focus on WMI, what's most important. He always had three things. He spent all his time on those three things and watched everything else out.
Wow.
I feel like sometimes in these leadership roles you get pulled in 1,000 directions. You don't really focus on the things that actually matter.
Yeah, for sure.
Joe Banner, Philadelphia Eagles, another extraordinary leader. He was not like warm and fuzzy. That was not his style of leadership. He led by example. Ridiculously bright and smart. Had a clear articulation of the vision of what we wanted to accomplish and where we were to go. This was an organization, when I came in the mid-'90s, played at Veterans Stadium, was the most dangerous field in the world. And he ended up getting, I think, the best stadium in the NFL built in Philadelphia. And built the organization. And through Jeff Lurie's vision for sure, but he was the anchor and the heart and leader of turning that franchise into a very mediocre franchise to an exceptional one.
Wow, I love that.
So I've been really, really, really fortunate. Bernie Mullen, the NBA, another one of my former bosses.
Yeah.
Went on to run the Hawks and Thrashers in Atlanta.
Wow.
Amazing guy.
Oh, that's so cool.
Good vision. Yeah, I've been fortunate. Everywhere I've been, everywhere I turned, John Spoelstra, whose son Eric is the coach of the Heat, was president of the Nets. He gave me my first opportunity, and I learned from him. He celebrated young people. So there were about 5 or 6 of us.
I love that.
And he kind of hand-selected us and would take us to dinner once a month as a 22-year-old.
That's so
One is Uncle Howie,
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And one was Brett Yormark, who's now running the Big 12. So these are he either had an eye or we got lucky.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that is crazy.
Really, really cool.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
Steve DeLay
super
was
cool.
one of the founders of the Savannah Bananas.
Wow.
In that group. So it was a fun group. And this is like one guy who just said, hey, there are a lot of young people here. I'm going to mentor some of them.
And look how much wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
that's amazing. I love that.
Quite a treat.
I feel like you do a really good job at teaching leadership as well. Obviously to us girls, but to your workplaces too. Everywhere, I don't know if this is still a thing, but at one point, every job that he would go to, he had all of his employees read a book. Leadership and Self-Deception.
Yeah, we're doing it here too. Just started it.
I love that. So one of my favorite concepts of literally all time is from Leadership and Self-Deception. It's like a mantra in our home. It's get outside of the box.
Yeah.
Can you explain that? Because I think you'll do it better than me.
Jim Farrell is the author.
Yeah.
From under the guise of Arbinger Institute. And it's the kind of book that he didn't put his name on, just to show you the kind of leader he is.
Wow.
It's such an ego boost as someone who's written a book. It's an ego boost to write it. He didn't put his name on it. Just to show you how he sees the world. It's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
So the way the box, which is very hard to explain, you should read the book. It is the best book ever written. You
should read the book, Leadership and Self-Deception.
Right after you read Be Where Your Feet Are.
Right after you...
I'm just kidding.
It's the second best book ever.
Yeah.
If you haven't read Be Where Your Feet Are, read it.
Right.
Commercial. Come on, read it.
Inside the box, if you're in the box, it means you're not seeing people like people. It means you're seeing like objects. I'm talking to Lex because I want her to do something or accomplish something. And if you're out of the box, that means I'm treating you like a human being. And
yes.
So it's that simple, but it's worth reading the book.
Can I give an example?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're in the box with someone, say you have a friend, okay, and she was mean to you one day. She came in and she didn't say some nice things to you and whatever. She was having a rough time. She goes home. The next day, she comes in and she's super nice to you. But because of yesterday, you're like, you're in the box.
Right.
You don't even want to.
You're expecting her to be nasty, so you're nasty, which then makes her nasty, and it reinforces the behavior and keeps you in the box.
Being outside of the box is going into every interaction with no preconceived notion.
Right, which is really hard.
It's very hard.
It's really hard.
But it's almost like a fresh start. Right. I don't know.
It's refreshing to go through life like that. Think about it. You give people a shot every time to prove themselves right as opposed to prove themselves wrong.
No, for sure. And it was ingrained in us growing up. Whenever we'd be upset about someone and be like, oh, well, she posted this, they'd always be like, get outside the box. Right.
And it was sometimes you shouldn't weaponize those words. And sometimes in our house, some of the girls might weaponize them sometimes. They'd be like, you're in the box. And I'm like, okay, that's really not how it's supposed to be used. It's not as a weapon.
She's nodding. She's pointing at me.
It's supposed to be a tool so that we recognize in ourselves that we need to clear ourselves. And the way to get out of the box is to recognize you're in it.
Yes. It's the only way to get outside of it. Yeah, I love that. Any other points on leadership you want to say or talk about or anything? This is good. We're at 25.
Okay.
Can you wrap?
Yeah.
Guess a Disney character?
Yeah.
Okay. Why, do you want to come in for guess a Disney character?
No.
Okay.
Okay, let's do guess the Disney character. It's that time. I have a very good one.
All right.
And this is going to be a very difficult one. I don't know his name, but I know what he looks like.
How am I supposed to get it then?
You'll either get it or not get it.
Oh, okay. So you don't know his name, so it's not Smee.
I know what he looks like.
It's not. So what am I? What am I guessing here?
Well, you tell me. How do you? That's what they ask me questions.
Okay, is it a boy?
Yes.
Is it an animal?
No.
Is it a human?
No. Well, kind of.
Okay. Is it someone from Avatar?
No, but I love Avatar.
Yeah. Avatar is such a good movie.
Is that Disney?
Yeah, because remember the Avatar ride at Disney?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Great ride.
Great ride.
You give up?
Are they in a movie? No, I don't give up.
Yeah.
Are they in a princess movie?
Yes.
Is it Pascal the Iguana?
No.
Oh, I got so hyped for a second.
I love that guy though.
Is it in Tiana's movie?
No.
Cinderella's movie?
No.
Bella's movie?
No.
Ariel's movie?
No.
Moana?
No.
Sleeping Beauty?
No, it's the genie from Aladdin.
Oh, his name is Genie. That's a really good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah. I know you used to go with Smee.
Bro, that's the best one you've ever done. That was good. That was...
Okay, well, thank you for watching, listening, and engaging the content. Leave a message, send us something, a question you want us to tackle.
Yes, we'll start posting a space weekly for you guys on our Instagram to submit questions, so make sure you do.
And shout out to Ricky, our producer.
And shout out to Ricky.
Go Ricky.
You guys have no idea how much Ricky does. We wouldn't be able to survive without Ricky.
Ricky, do more.
Ricky, you're the best.
Ricky, do more.
Thank you. Okay. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and we'll see you guys next week.